G'day, welcome to Farming Simulator 15. I'm Locknut and this is Thornton Farm. This map's only just come out in the last week and it's a pretty good one. It's I think the third map by Oxygen David and I really enjoyed playing on Chellington Extended, so let's jump on in. So this save file that I've got here is actually a modified one. So I'm not playing on the normal start for this map. I have all the right mods, but this is a different starting scenario. So what I'm going to be trying to do in this scenario is give myself a little bit more of a challenge and play a little bit more realistically. So we have, as you can see, no money, and if I look here, we also don't own any fields. So I'm gonna go for a jog up the lane here and talk to you about the mods that I'm using at the same time. So I am using soil mod. Put our torch on, it's a bit dark. I'm using soil mod. I have used it before. It adds quite an interesting aspect to the game, and I'm no expert at it, but we will hopefully do alright with it. You can get some really good yields if you're careful with your nutrient application, so that should be fun. I'm playing on easy difficulty. The reason being is the way that I play. I tend not to sell vehicles, I tend to just store them, so you'll find that I don't get too much good equipment too soon the way that I play on easy. I'm going to try and keep the episodes at this stage to about 20 minutes. Because of my internet quality, I can't do any better than that. Even that takes all night to upload, so it's just the way it is for now. What else? Okay, so in terms of the other mods, I am going to be using Courseplay. I really love Courseplay. I've used it for a fairly long time, and it just allows you to automate. Where am I supposed to be going? Left. Just allows you to automate some functions that can be quite mundane, such as taking grain back to silos and things like that. I'm using AutoCombine and AutoTractor. Two excellent mods. They really improve the hired worker abilities. So yep, we got those. In terms of help on the field, I'm probably not going to use Courseplay too much for that. I seem to have had some issues with it crashing recently on Chellington. I don't exactly know what it is. I think it might have something to do with the fact that with Oxygen David's maps, there isn't actually a set list of cardinal directions. You can actually hire workers and get them to work in any direction, which is really useful, but I think it might be mucking up Courseplay a little bit. Anyway, so here we are at the shop, and then the rest of the mods that I have are some just quality of life mods, like this one here, which is the PDA mod, which sort of is a throwback to Farming Simulator 2013. I have, if you can see up the top left, you can't see it yet because I don't own any vehicles. I have Glance, I think it's called. Really useful mod for showing vehicle levels. It's the same type of deal as Inspector and everything, but it covers off animals as well and has different notification priority levels, so a pretty useful little tool. So 5:04, the dealership's just opened. Farmers like to start early, so I guess dealers must have to start early too. I like this dealership. I think this might be the standard dealership out of Farming Simulator 15, but they've also added this case service center and dealership over sorry, not case, class dealership over here with more cardboard cutouts and some pretty cool pictures on the walls up here. Not sure. I think it might be this one. Uh, one of them. I think it's called a saddle track. There's a couple of mods out for that. I don't have any of them installed, but it seems like a pretty cool vehicle. Seems like it can do a lot of different things, like mount sprayer tanks and stuff on the back, or slurry tanks. Interesting idea. So let's see what we've got. Oh, these are the mods that I'm using. I'm using the Classics pack because I just like it. I've got the Massey Ferguson pack, Unimogs. I've got the, whatever that was, special edition pre-order, I think that thing was, the Niva harvester, but I've also got a very old version of that which I really like. Nice and smoky and slow and cheap as well. What else? Anything of note here? Not this one. I've got the Pantera sprayer, pretty useful in soil mod. I've got the Krone Ultima, that really cool baler, the Octa-Quad from Murray Machinery Octa-Quad. That's a cool thing. It's a little bit hard to use, but it's a very cool idea. What else? Obviously I have the livestock trailer and the milk trailer there for this map. I think that's all the useful stuff. I have all of the DLCs as well for this game, so I've got the Homer DLC with the JCB, the gold edition stuff. So yeah, we got a good amount of gear here to keep us entertained. So let us get ourselves into a whole lot of debt. So scenario is we've inherited the farm buildings, but the land was all sold off. So we don't own any land, no fields. So we're going to have to go and buy some and buy some equipment. So the field that I'm going to buy is field 15 down near Thornton Farm, right next to it. So I think that's about 24 or 25,000. So I need to reserve that much money. But I am going to need a harvester for sure. I'm going to get this guy because he's cheap. He's cheaper than the new version, and you know, the more modern version, and they work essentially the same. So we'll get him. Yes. And then this thing as well. What that does is it chops the straw that comes out the back. It goes on the back and it chops it up into chaff. So we'll buy that as well. Now, one thing I don't like about this mod is the maintenance per day values. I think they should be much higher, because if you look at this, it's 670 a day, whereas this is only 33. And I would suggest that a older vehicle would cost more to maintain if they're, you know, mechanically the same, which I think those would be. Okay, so we need a header for that. We'll just get the normal cutter for that. Yep. We need a trailer, so we'll get this guy, and I'll also get this guy as well. Actually, no, I won't. I'll get another one of these. Yeah, we'll get two of those, because the harvester needs to tow one along behind it to put the chaff in while he's harvesting. So tractors. So what I normally do is I normally buy the cheapest ones first and then work up to the more expensive ones. That way it sort of forces you to play with a few vehicles that you might not normally play with, and I just find that to be interesting, because you know, otherwise if you look here, you know, most of these tractors here, there's performance wise very little difference between any of them, so why would you use them? So you know, the way that I play, it forces you to use those tractors, which I find to be interesting. Anyways, so we buy this guy, the Butcher D4000. Cool. Then we'll get the Hats H340. Cool. We'll get this guy, the G40. It's a four-wheel drive tractor, which is nice in these small ones. If you've ever used them, it's very different to most mods. Most mods tend to go very big. These are very small and slow. What else can we use? I think this one. Yeah, we'll get the BF 450. Buy that as well. So it's a good selection of tractors for us. Should keep us out of trouble. Need to get ourselves a plough. We need to get ourselves a cultivator. We need to get ourselves a seeder, a spreader. We need a sprayer. I'm not exactly sure if any of my tractors will be able to run that sprayer yet because it's quite large, but anyways. We'll get a windrower for the straw. We'll get a baler and a bale loader, or a bale loader and a baler, I should say. That'll do us for now. So there's one thing that you have to do with these maps. You have to get this stop milk sale mod. What that does is it stops the milk from being sold at midnight or whenever it gets sold, so that it means that you have to actually deliver the milk yourself, which is a kind of a cool touch, I think. So you just got to put this sign somewhere and then that activates the mod. It's, yeah. So we'll just put him in the corner here. It's always weird, like just a random sign there, but I'd normally put it next to the milking robot somewhere so that I don't actually know what it says. I imagine it says something like "Do not collect this milk" or something like that. So I put it near the milk. What else? We've got a harvester, we've got tractors. We need the land, so we won't spend any more money just yet. Let us go. Holy moly. Look at this. Cool. Okie doke. Let us get moving. So climb up in here. Start her up. Okay, now with this one you can press T to remove that hatch on the back so that you can attach other things, and then you press R and it removes those grates there, but even though the grates do make it harder to see, oops, let's go with headlights. There we go. I like the grates because you know, it reminds me of the floating sail barge out of Star Wars, Jabba's floating sail barge. I don't know, just I really think they're cool. Alrighty. So let's get this guy hooked up. So I also have what's it called, manual PTO attach or something like that, the one where you have to get out to attach implements. And if you wanted to know, I'm using a Logitech G, should be good, perfect, G29 wheel with the shifter. Yeah, Yeah, so that's what I'm playing with. And I'm generally try to use the in-cab view where I can. Ooh, careful. Even though, yeah, it's a little bit hard sometimes to get the view right. Okie dokie. Ooh. Yeah, so this wheel is pretty new to me, so my apologies if I'm not doing too well. How are we looking? Not even close. Okie doke. Oh, we can fix that. Yeah, and also the force feedback, like return to center spring, is on, so you might be able to hear that. Hook him up, and we need to get out and attach the PTO. I think. Is there a PTO here? Don't know. Is it going to work? Okay, that goes, and that goes. Alright. Seems to be working. Alright, let's grab one of these trailers. So yeah, I'm pretty much going for realism here, rather than big equipment or anything like that. You know, we're $200,000 in debt already. And we haven't planted a single thing, so that seems... Is that realistic? I don't really know. Can't imagine the life of a farm is very easy, so... Okie doke, let's go. Move this guy up here to near the road and put the handbrake on. Let that thing warm up. Looks like it's been sitting for a while. Clear the cobwebs out. Okie dokie. So, we'll take this four-wheel drive tractor. We have two four-wheel drive tractors now. I'm also playing with drive control as well, so that's a really good mod. It simulates being able to have four-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, and center and front and rear diff locks as well, or lockable differentials. But unfortunately it gives you those options on vehicles that even shouldn't be four-wheel drive. But anyways, so we'll put this guy on the cedar. So this map is set up for, I think it's called the Real Terrain mod. I think it's called that. And it puts mud and lots of bumpiness into the fields. Like the tractors get really sort of, you know, they're bumping around up and down all over the fields. It's quite a good mod. But it also means that when you're pulling things like a seeder or a plough or a cultivator, you need a fair bit more horsepower, because yeah, it's a lot harder for the vehicles to get through the field. So we will just park this guy here for now. Get out. And what else can we take? We look at this guy on the seeder, not seeder, the fertilizer spreader. Sorry about that. attach you. This thing almost looks like a couple of guys would be able to lift it onto the back. A couple of farmers. Okay. Headlights. Cool. Another thing, I think it's drive control. It puts multiple, like you can see that headlight shadows and lighting and stuff outside the vehicle, which is really cool. Normally, you just see that the lights are on, and they don't actually shine on anything. But with this, yeah, it's a nice touch. All these tractors ready. It's like a race start or something. What am I going to take? Put this guy on the plow, I think. Oh, there we go. Get out, hook it up. Handbrake off. Whoopsie daisies. Lift the plow. Yeah, I think that's another thing for the manual PTO attaches. The implements start lowered. Make sure we lift that one up. Not that it goes up by much. And one more tractor. This guy can have the cultivator. So, unlike in the base game, soil mod actually has a difference between the effects of ploughing and cultivating, finally, which is really neat. I think pretty cool. And it also means that it also makes it so that there's a real use, or manure and slurry act differently to just normal fertilizer, which is makes it much more interesting and useful to use manure spreaders and slurry tankers. Alright, so these guys, put this guy's headlights on. These guys are all lined up here, ready to roll out. But that is going to have to be the next episode. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know how my first episode went. I'll see you in the next one.